Hey guys, Jake from Matt Kite here with another At a Glance. Today, I have got the Majestic X harness. This is a shop favorite. I really like this harness. So here we've got the Majestic X harness. It comes in this nice little stuff sack. This is great for not only transporting your harness itself, but you can throw your beach towel in here, some clothes. Honestly, I don't store my harness in here at all. I just use this as a wet bag in my car. It's really nice. So we've got the harness itself here. You're going to notice this is a hard shell harness. There's a soft shell harness, there's kind of medium, and then hard shell. This is going to be a carbon composite material on the back, so it's very rigid. You can see when I'm yanking on it, it's not really bending and flexing a whole bunch. And that's nice because it's going to provide a lot of support right in your lumbar region. These hard shell harnesses tend to have a little bit of a lower profile. Soft shell might stick out a little bit more here. A little bit of a sloppier, comfier, kind of lazy boy fit, whereas this is much more precision. And that's good. You want it to lock into that lumbar region. And this is going to do a really good job with energy transfer by not just pushing and pulling into your body as much, but really leaving a lot of that in the harness. When we turn this around, you can see that this does not include the spreader bar. That needs to be purchased separately, which we happen to have one here, so I'll show you how to connect that. And it does not come with the handle pass leash connected, but that is an additional accessory that is included with the purchase of the harness. You'll just snap that underneath here and you can have that plastic sheath there. Otherwise, if you don't need that, you don't need to put it on and you can keep the harness a little bit cleaner. You'll notice here very rigid, but along the top very plush. One thing I like about this harness is this plus portion right here isn't quite as prominent as on some other harnesses. I'm not going to name any names, but there's certain brands out there where this really digs into me. On this Majestic X, that's really not an issue. When we open it up here, you can see this has this really nice foam padding on the inside. This is going to be kind of a memory foam-like pattern where it's going to have some memory of your body shape and it's going to do a good job fitting your contours. That's really important because you want this to be a precision fit. With these harnesses, you're almost better off going one size down if you're on the cusp. It depends on your body shape. If you're a skinny bean kind of person, very muscular, go size down. If you got a little extra plush, I've got a little hamburger weight here, I would probably go with my normal size. This size we have here is a large. I would probably wear the medium, but for demonstration purposes, it's just easier to get this bad boy on. So I'll go ahead, put this around my waist here. I can already feel that it's doing a really good job holding its shape. Go right here, pull out these winglets. That comes across, and it's ready for the spreader bar. So because you guys don't need to see the 5-minute process it takes to lace this up, we attach the stealth for you. One of the big benefits of this stealth bar is this clasp system right here. So I'm gonna go ahead, start with the winglet over here. This section is always attached on the harness, and you can see you've got a little leash attachment right here. I'm gonna go ahead and stick this winglet underneath, take this buckle, put it right there, and close that clasp. In theory, once I get this sized, I won't need to make constant adjustments. I should be pretty close to set it and forget it each session. You can see here, now that I've got it tightened, off, on, and I don't need to constantly make adjustments. Once that's folded down like that, that's pretty locked into place. And you're gonna notice this doesn't really move in place very much because you've got these supporting winglets off to the side here. If I turn around, you can see, again, this is tucked right in that lumbar area, and it is a more slim, narrow profile. With this harness on, it's a lot lighter than a traditional harness. It is still pretty stiff, so you have to kind of play around and find that sweet spot where you're not getting something too loosey-goosey, but it's also not really biting into you a whole bunch. On these hard shell harnesses, an area of normal complaint is right over here by the ribs. You'll feel a little bit of biting with this plush material right here. Some of that will go away if you have a wetsuit on. That's going to dampen some of it. you know, you got to kind of suss it out. It's like your first time trying on a front zip wetsuit. It feels really unnatural at first, but a lot of it goes away just as you get used to the new tensions and pushing and pulling. If you come off your first session and you're bruised and battered, it's probably not the right fit for you. It's not the right harness. But otherwise, a little discomfort isn't super out of the ordinary. So one of the benefits with this Stealth spreader bar, as you can see, it's got this really soft foam up here. It's kind of like a pool noodle material. If this harness does happen to roll up, and it won't do much rolling up because it's a very rectangular kind of chocolate bar spreader bar pattern, which is good. You're going to get this biting into you first, so you don't really have to worry about too many rigid pieces of metal or plastic pushing into your ribs. That is a session ender, and you're not really going to get that. You can see that because this is so locked in, even when I yank up, I'm a new rider, I'm getting pulled straight up at 12 o'clock. It's really not sneaking up too much. And if it does, I just kind of shimmy it down. Because it's sized for my lumbar, it's gonna fit right into this pocket by and large. It's a very comfortable, minimal harness, and it's really light. All right, so this harness in review. Things we like: super light. If your body shape is right, super comfortable. It's a lot more minimal, so you have a pretty large range of motion. It also just feels really premium, and not having to constantly adjust your straps to get the right sizing with this lever lock system is really nice. This Stealth spreader bar does come with a surf rope style as well. I would recommend that if you're doing a lot of surfing, or even with the foil. That's a really comfortable configuration. Things I don't like about this harness, really not that many. I could see this upper lip being a little bit uncomfortable for people. That's again going to depend a lot on body shape. And getting into that body shape concern, if you're a little bit more plushy, this might just not fit as well as it should. You might not be able to experience all the same benefits. Otherwise, 10 out of 10. Great harness. Thanks for checking us out, guys. This has been Jake with At a Glance.